very good thing about this, I would say that there's a lot of hype going around for a few guys, and a lot of, I don't want to say trash talk, a little bit of smack talk. I hope this will kind of happen here today, because me and you talked about the press conference a few years now, and what we need is a little bit of trash talk. I'm not looking at people in particular right now, but I'm looking. You all know who I'm looking at. So I believe this will be one of the best press conferences we've had in a long time. Are you guys ready for that? Oh, yeah.
Well, you know, the nice thing about social media, D, is there's trash talk just 24/7, 365 days a year these days. In the old days, you had to do interviews, get in the magazines. You wouldn't see this stuff for months. But these guys are certainly not shy when it comes to putting their stuff out there and declaring who they think is going to be the champ on game day. But before we get to that, we're going to set a little bit of business here today, because some of that stuff I see on social media and some of these titles and such, I don't know, they're a little confusing to me. So we're going to ask some questions here today. Breon Ansley. Where's Breon? All the way at the end. What's up, Breon? Breon, question.
Yo.
Who is Mr. Olympia?
I'm Mr. Olympia.
Okay, hang on. Jeremy Buendia. Who's Mr. Olympia?
Phil Heath's Mr. Olympia.
Flex Lewis. Who's Mr. Olympia?
I'm the 212 Mr. Olympia. Phil Heath is the Mr. Olympia.
Phil Heath. Do I have to ask? Phil, my question to you was simple. There's only one Mr. Olympia title, but why do I see people with stuff on their Facebook and Instagram and everything else that says Mr. Olympia?
I can't speak for another grown man, but I don't know. Maybe for their own social media hype, I guess. I don't know. At the end of the day, it's not for me to judge on that stuff. I'm in the open category. Throughout the entire Mr. Olympia brand for over 50 plus years, there's only been 13 Mr. Olympia champions. I happen to be the 13th. It doesn't discredit all the other categories. They're all amazing champions, both men and women. But I feel, like being in an open class, being able to have that same Sandow as, the greats is all that I've ever wanted.
Well, I see one more Mr. Olympia on this stage here, a former Mr. Olympia, and Dexter Jackson. 2008 Mr. Olympia. Dexter, this is your 19th Olympia. I know you tell people you're 49. I know deep in my heart that you're way over 50, but it doesn't matter. Just like you said, it don't matter because the body's doing the talking. What Dexter are we seeing this weekend at his 19th Olympia? Can Dexter win the Olympia one more time?
Absolutely. This is my 19th, as you said. I missed a year, so it would be 20. But you know what I said last year? My face is 50, but this body's 20. So don't worry about the face. But anyway.
Dexter's actually getting younger in that. Last year he said his body was 23.
I remember
20-something, you know what I said. Everybody can remember that.
I remember in 2008 at the press conference, which was basically your year, you walked away with the title. I remember you saying at the press conference that you're going to win it because this is the best you've ever been.
Yeah.
And Jay Cutler, what was the exact words? Something like, some way that he can't put it together, or you got to nail it at the right day, or whatever it was that you said about Jay that time. Do you remember?
Well, Jay, I felt at the time that Jay wasn't his best for a few years. And I thought he was going to play my game and try and come in to try to match my conditioning, which he did. And I said, if he did that, then I can win.
So what about Phil?
Same thing. But
can he put it together?
Look, I'm a realist about this whole thing. Everybody knows Phil won 7 Mr. Olympias for a reason. Okay? He ain't no punk. You know what I'm saying? He won 7 for a reason. So if Phil put it together and he come in, you know, anywhere near his all-time best, it's going to be very hard to beat, period. You know? So all you people out there that's thinking that Phil's garbage, no, Phil, y'all, you know Phil, he's 1'7". Trust me, if he put it all together, he's going to be very, very hard to beat. And I say, like I said when I won, if all ducks line up in a row, okay, and Phil come in, which he has been coming in off, you know, hasn't been near his best, okay, that anything can happen, you know. So if all ducks fall in a row, of course I can win it.
Phil, of all the accolades you've ever received, "You're not garbage" has got to be up there, number one.
Absolutely. You know, I was actually on that stage in 2008 when Dexter Jackson actually won his first Mr. Olympia. It was actually, I was an Olympia rookie that same year, and I actually placed third. And being able to see Dexter that year, I competed against him at the Arnold Classic that year, which he also had won. Understanding what his mindset was at that time, and knowing that at some point that was who I was trying to beat, because of the level of conditioning, the separation, the fullness, the completeness that he had. And I just wanted to make sure that I was on that stage. So I was able to witness, you know, that and, you know, carry that forward. So, you know, Dexter, I do appreciate the props and the respect. I think when you're standing next to another Mr. Olympia champion, there is a brotherhood. There's 13 of us, 11 of us are still alive. And I think there's a mutual respect, because we understand climbing that mountain is not very easy. It's very hard. It takes a lot of dedication and sacrifice, far exceeding what most people think, and even people on the stage actually can ever imagine. But in all, there is that common bond of saying, you know what, if a person at his best is very hard, I respect him, I respect the other athletes, you know, for what they want to bring. But at the end of the day, I'm here for a reason, and that's for legendary status.
All right, thank you, Phil.
Well, that brings me to another contender, actually somebody who thinks that he beat Phil in 2015 and 2016. And by the way, breaking down Phil's body parts, I mean, his poses, he also said, and that was not the first time he said that, he mentioned that at the press conference years ago. Do you remember what year it was?
Morning, everyone. Thanks for coming out to show your support again at the 2018 Mr. Olympia. I guess I remember it was 2015 right here.
Okay, breaking down Phil's poses. It's not something, it's not a secret, because it was obviously online. I watched the nice interview that you gave, and this is what a different Sean Roden. This is Sean Roden that I'm not used to, and probably ain't nobody used to. It's a Sean Roden that basically said, "This time I don't care." I don't want to say it the way he said it, but you guys know what I'm doing. This time I don't, rather not give a doo-doo, to be honest. But Sean Roden broke down each pose for Phil Heath. Are you going to beat him in every pose that you mentioned? Because he started with the front double biceps all the way to the back double biceps.
I've studied each and every opponent that's on the stage here. Phil is the 7-time Mr. Olympia for a reason. And I've trained my ass off this year with the attitude of I have nothing to lose. And Phil is the current Mr. Olympia 2017. If I didn't do my homework, I shouldn't be up here. If there's one person on the stage that didn't train to be number one in 2018, they should not be on this stage. If you're training to be number two, you should stay home. So yes, I've took the time to study Phil. I've took the time to study Dexter, Big Ramy, pose for pose, and I've done my damn homework.
Well, let's keep it real. Let's break down pose for pose. This is your words. Phil's front double bicep, crap. Lat spread, crap. Side chest, he never done a side chest.
Yes, I did say all those. You saw the Jay Cutler interview. I was just speaking facts. We're gonna go out here tomorrow night, and we're all gonna step on the stage, and we're all gonna see what we have. And as I said, I've done my homework for 2018. Last year, I started my prep off with a broken jaw. I had to eat 2 straws to make the top 5. I've had plenty of time this year to get my shit together, to come back here and get back on stage and present myself as Mr. Olympia.
All right. Thank you, Sean. All right, Phil, apparently you are garbage. Front double by is crap. Really?
I have nothing to say to him. Talk is cheap. He'll find out tomorrow, and he'll have that same looking Eeyore-looking face backstage.
My question isn't really you, Phil. It's to you, William Bonac. Doesn't he have to get through you first to even having a chance of getting to Phil Heath?
I think all of these guys got to get through me to get to Phil.
Short and sweet, William. I love you. Man, a few words. And he's got to get through Big Ramy. Where's Big Ramy? Big Ramy, I got to say, bro, I saw you at the check-ins yesterday, and I got to say, you look big.
Yes, for sure. I'm from Paris. Thank you for coming and support this game. And I heard Mr. Dix. He said, Mr. Phil is Mr. Olympia 7 years for a reason, and that's right. I think the reason I'm not coming 100% yet. But tomorrow, we will see something different. Something different. That's it. Rome is winning tomorrow. That's it.
Big Ramy says he's bringing something different, Phil. What do you think?
Sounds like what he said last year. Were you guys here last year? Last year, he said, I'm going to show you guys something you have never seen before. I promise. Yes. So, once again, talk is cheap.
Yeah.
Okay? I know you guys want to hear me talk a lot of trash and this and that, but talk is cheap. Okay? So he can say whatever he wants. Yeah. It doesn't matter to me. It may matter to you, but I guarantee you it's not going to come to fruition. I work hard too. I've improved too. And that's it. I don't have to talk bad about anybody to make myself feel good. I don't have to stand up and say, I'm 7-time Mr. Olympia. I got sandals at my house that let me know that. So at the end of the day, it's all about me chasing history. No disrespect to anyone on this stage, but that's what is here. That's why I'm here. I'm not here for anyone else on this stage, but they are here for me. And that's the difference with the mindset. That's the difference. That's why you guys bought the tickets. You bought the tickets to see history be made, whether it happens or not. But it's going to happen.
Phil, you're good enough, you're smart enough, and gosh darn it, you're not garbage.
Well, we have somebody here from England who is no longer a rookie. This is his second year at the Olympia this year. Also very vocal when it comes to, a third year, I'm sorry. Very vocal when it comes to moving up in ranks. And like some people say, they're very hard to understand because there's a British accent. It's from, I don't know, what, Manchester? Where is it from? Liverpool? Oh, Liverpool. This is where Darren Till is from. Okay, so you've been very vocal. You've been telling people, are you here for Phil?
Of course I'm here for Phil, you know. Like everyone said, he's 7-time champion for a reason. But, you know, if someone's reel's got to come to an end sooner or later. Phil said people have bought tickets to see Phil win, to be legendary. I think you guys have bought tickets to see him be dethroned. You know, that's just the way it is. That's the way I predicted, and I think things are going to change.
Are you going to be the one that's going to change it?
If it's not me this year, then next year you won't be getting that number 9, that's for sure.
All right, luckily I've got Dexter here to interpret. What do you say, Dex?
I don't know what the hell he said.
Dexter's from a different part of England, clearly.
He's speaking some.
Well, we have another person who probably want to say something to all this because everybody's talking about dethroning Phil. Everybody's moving up in ranks. What about Rolly Winkler? We got Rolly in the house who just coming off a strong win at the Arnold in Australia, beating William Bonac, who placed third at the Olympia last year. Rolly, what do you have to say to all this? Everybody's just throwing in Phil. What are you going to do come tomorrow night?
Yeah, what I have to say is, you know, you go and show, you don't play as good, but everybody think the show is done. After 2 weeks, everybody's sleeping, and they think to be third and fourth, and they're done. But in my mind, it's not finished, and that's why I'm there, you know. And I want to keep it tomorrow from beginning already good, and not after 2 weeks.
Okay, I didn't really hear it because it's going.
Hang on a second, D. Dexter, what did he say?
He need more words? Oh, he needs more time to peak. That means he ain't ready.
Oh, okay, no. He said this time he's peaking today, not in 2 weeks. Is that correct?
Oh, he peaking today?
Yeah,
well, he's gonna be
peak
off
is-
then tomorrow.
The peak is tomorrow, and yeah.
Appreciate Dexter translating for these guys today. All right, listen, I got to get to my man over here. All right? You'll never, there's no name more synonymous with the Olympia than Oliva. And we've got Sergio Jr. here today. Sergio, you own a very distinct record. You are actually the youngest person to ever appear on an Olympia stage. Is that correct, sir?
I think that's the record, so I might as well just retire right now. Why? I got a standing ovation the first time I was at the Olympia. Anyone else get that?
That's right. That's right. This was, for those who don't know your bodybuilding history, of course, we're talking about 1984, right?
1984,
And
yeah.
you were approximately, 3 weeks old, I think?
Yeah, I think that was the speech that my dad gave, right?
So, Sergio Sr., of course, Sergio's dad, on the Olympia stage in 1984 when he made his comeback and raised the then infant Sergio to the bodybuilding gods in the sky and says, "Behold the next myth." And guess what, Sergio? You made it back, buddy. You did your father proud.
Thanks. Yeah, no pressure, right? Yeah, I don't know how to live up to the Lion King, the bodybuilding version of Lion King, but I mean, it is what it is. And I keep saying this. I mean, I'm over here emotional wreck. This is a big deal for me. This is different for me than it's been for any bodybuilder ever. I feel like I'm two people. I feel like I'm the athlete that did achieve this qualification and get here, but then I'm also the biggest fan of this sport. There's nobody up here that's a bigger fan in this sport than me. And I want to thank everybody that's here, mostly at the press conference in particular, because you know, you guys pay money to see the greatest bodies in the world. That's a given. That you get, that's the gift you get. But to come here and want to hear what they have to say, and that's another level. That's another level of being a fan. And I've been in these stands for many years. I've dragged every one of my friends to come with me and sit here. I mean, I've seen every level. I mean, I've seen, you know, ninjas jumping people, and you know, go far back as you want. And I know bodybuilding fans miss those old days, you know, of going at it. And unfortunately, now it's bodybuilders for social media.
You're taking more time up here, bro, than you're going to be on stage. So let's just wrap it over.
Yo, get Rosetta Stone before you start talking to me, man. Nobody understands you. That's, I swear to God. Why are you talking shit to me?
How did you even get here, bro?
I'm the least person you gotta worry about, Nathan. Man, are you just mad that nobody's talking about you for like the 5 seconds they went to somebody else?
Don't worry about me.
Hey, everybody, I don't know if you noticed, but Nathan
here.
Dasha's here. So hey, but you know what, Nathan, he's doing it on purpose because he knows I love it. I love when a bodybuilder is real, even if it's nonsense coming out of his mouth. It's still appreciative because in this sport, there's a lot of people that say what he just said, but they don't say it to someone's face, and they say it behind social media. And that's what I was getting to before I was rudely interrupted, is that in today's day, unfortunately, these press conferences aren't, Phil, name 2 reasons why 2014, 2015, 2016. Like you had these great comebacks and going at it, but unfortunately it's social media versus these bodybuilders these days, and it's actually brought us together. Because now we're one. It's the people that sit at their computers and they don't do what we do that attack us. And that's why every year we look at each other and we all respect each other. Because, me and Jeremy can get into it. We're both competitors. I think it was like Paco Batista at one of the press conferences said, we all speak an international language, and that's our bodies. So no matter what, it always comes down to that, is that we're all competitors and we all do the same thing. But I think there's a big problem with the social media part in this sport, and I think it's a great tool. I think it's really something that even past champions probably could appreciate it. I can't even imagine my dad on social media, though. He definitely would have lost it. But yeah, this is bigger. This is bigger than me being here. No matter what, everyone who attacks this sport and says it's unhealthy, I'm a living contradiction of that. No one can tell me that this sport's unhealthy or bad, because look at me, I'm here. Because of bodybuilding, my parents met, and they had me. So literally, I'm breathing and walking around because of the IFBB, and I think that's why people hate me on social media, because I will go at it all day with anyone who attacks me or any of my fellow competitors. If you don't do what we do, then you have no reason to be bad-mouthing people the way you do. But really, right now, I'm just enjoying this. I think this is really cool. I think this is cool for the older fans. I've been getting a lot of messages from older fans that have not been to Olympia in 20, 30 years, and they're like, man, I want to go, so I can say I saw 2 generations. My mom's going to be the first person to have a son and a husband do a Mr. Olympia, and shit like that's it's really cool. I'm really glad to be here.
Well, thank you, Sergio Jr. I'm standing right behind the man. Nobody mentioned his name here today, but there was a lot of hype coming into the Olympia this year. Brandon Curry. Brandon, you heard what everybody's talking about, peaking this time, not in 2 weeks. Dexter thinks if he peaks today, he's not going to be ready tomorrow. Will you be ready tomorrow?
Well, I put some sneak peeks out there, and I don't know if you've been following. Of course, you guys can follow. But I believe this will be one of my best showings so far. I've been in Kuwait, of course, training my butt off, not just to participate, but to make an impact. So tomorrow, it'll definitely be a day that I plan to make an impact on stage, God willing. But I appreciate you guys coming out. This means the world to us. We're going to fight it out tomorrow, talk today, but tomorrow we battle on stage. So I respect all these guys, and I hope they bring their best, because I'm planning on bringing my best. And that's enough for me.
Thank you, Brandon. All right, making my way over to the big man, Cedric McMillan in the house. Cedric, you and Nathan couldn't be about more polar opposites if I could find 2 people to be, but Cedric always a very quiet guy. Cedric, you've been uncharacteristically a little bit too quiet so far this weekend. What's going on, big man?
Look, I don't do too well with this fake smack talk stuff. Like if I'm beefing with somebody, I would just go get their ass. I mean, straight up. The way physiques look and all of that, we should be able to respect each other and respect our muscles and all of that, And I don't have to talk shit about your body in order to feel good about mine. Some people do that for some motivation. It's whatever. So yeah, I can be quiet because I'm living in the real world, man. It's a hurricane coming to my area. I had to leave a group of soldiers that was activated, and I was supposed to be going with them to lead them through this hurricane relief. And my ass is in Vegas, So yeah, I mean, look, I'm living real life, man. And I know everybody's living what they feel like is real life. I'm gonna try to keep this shit short though. But somebody asked, who is Mr. Olympia? And I believe a better question is, what is Mr. Olympia? And I believe Mr. Olympia is an ideal. I believe it was an idea that somebody had, and it's a spiritual thing, it's an emotional thing. And I believe you got a lot of physical manifestations of what Mr. Olympia is, you know. And for me, it's that person that get their ass up and go to work, you know, and do the things that they got to do, the responsibilities that they have, but at the same time, they try to take a little time for themselves to try to be the best that they can at something. Not necessarily competing against anybody in order to do that, but they're competing against the old them. I believe that person is just as much of a Mr. Olympia as anybody else, you know, that ever stood on the stage, or even who the statue's made after. One more thing I want to say. Let's see, I got a couple of messages from people that I know. Hey, check this link out. It's Dennis James talking about Cedric or this or that, or some of these other motherfuckers that get paid a little bit of money to
Hey, family show, says. Family
okay,
show.
sorry. They get paid a little bit of money to analyze us and stuff like that. And one thing I really wish that some of these guys with all of this experience would do is that they would use their position and experience that they had to motivate us guys to continue to do what they do based on all the stuff that they've been through in their life, instead of using that opportunity to sit up and try to make a few dollars talking junk, okay? Because you can, you know, yeah, we're supposed to be strong mentally and emotionally, but you could actually break somebody's spirit with what come out of your mouth. And I mean, if you're willing to do that, you know, and you're willing to handle the karma that come with that, then that's fine. You know, but I'm all about trying to be as positive as I can. We can get negative if we have to, but it ain't gonna be on no stage. It's gonna be whooping some ass like backstage or something like that, you know, and that's just real. I'll come see you. But anyway, I love y'all. One more thing I wanna say, I know it's a whole bunch of people, whether I get my ass beat here or there or not, whatever my conditioning is, I know it's a whole lot of people that still love me, and they love the way I do my thing, and they love the way I look. So whatever anybody got to say about what they think about what Cedric can do or what Cedric need to do, I'm worried about these people that still love me, and that's what I'm here for.
William?
Yeah,
Well,
I
would say let's switch it up and go.
Hang on, D.
Oh,
hang on.
William, okay.
So, Cedric, about that, you saying this and that, blah, blah, blah. This is bodybuilding, my brother. We all face things in our life. You understand? But not everybody got to talk about that shit. You understand? So what you face is what you face. We face different things. You understand? It's not that you are more than us. And even aside that, you know, I love you, brother. You know that. You understand? I'm the one that you even came to pick you up when you came to Holland, Amsterdam. You understand? Without you even say thank you. You even come here backstage, you don't even say hi to none of us. You understand? And now you come and talk like you want to be a role model, this and that. The first thing you should do when you come backstage is like say hi to us, you know, like a human being should do. You know, not walking in like a lone wolf, go sit back all by yourself, and you come here and talk like blah, 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 blah. Be real, man, because you ain't real now.
Well, I say let's switch it up.
Okay, nah, okay.
Hang on, D, hang on.
I swear this is some stuff that we could talk about personally. But anyway, I don't think I ever said anything about being better than anybody at all. You know, I admit getting my ass whooped up and down this stage many times. I do remember when I came in, you know, close to you at the meeting last night, I put my arm on your shoulder. I hadn't said 2 words to nobody because I'm dealing with my own mental and emotional struggles on how to handle the anxiety associated with this.
We all do that. We all do. And
hey, man, yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. You handle stuff your way and I handle it mine. My way is to be the fuck quiet and chill out, you know?
Don't come to play a saint over here. You know, you ain't doing what you're saying, brother.
Well, technically, we all are
do what you say.
We all are up here to make a scene because they give us a microphone and say, talk, make a scene. And so that's what we're supposed to do, tell our story and say our opinion. But all right, okay.
Breathe.
Woosah.
In through the nose, out through the mouth. In through the nose.
Hey, we'll just get up backstage, bro.
All right, D, now you can switch it up.
Let's switch it up. I'd like to go to men physique, if you all don't mind, for a second. Of course, we have our Physique Olympia champion. And we have Andrew Ferguson, who's also very vocal. I'm sorry, I apologize. Andre Ferguson, who was very vocal. And I don't know, I came across some video where it looked like you were talking to somebody. I'm not sure who that somebody was. Brandon, was it you he was talking about? And you guys had I call it a social media fight. You literally going back at each other, beating each other up on social media. What's that all about? Now you sit next to each other. I mean, this is fun.
I don't know, man. It was all cool until I started winning. Then he started throwing shade. So that's what happened. So now we at each other's throats, and it is what it is. It's not a real issue because he doesn't want a real issue, so we're just going to keep it to the stage.
So there's no fight? Because I've read something where somebody said, let's go throw hands. Let's not do all this talking.
Yo, listen, if he wants that kind of smoke, we could do that.
No, we don't want to do that.
Like,
no.
That's what I'm saying. It's not about that. That's why we're just going to keep it on the stage.
What's your beef with Andre?
I have no beef with this man. This man has been focused on my life, my personal relationships. I say what I say. I'm honest with what I say, and sometimes it rubs people the wrong way. But you said you're not about that or whatever. But you said
you have no beef with me, right?
I have no beef with you.
So then what are you talking about on social media then if you have no beef with me?
What I said on social media was what I said on social media was that when you were in the hospital, all I said was I'm not in the hospital.
Yo, take it way back to that, Brandon. It's been going on for a whole
Okay,
year.
hold on.
I don't know
Let
what
me
you're
ask you
talking
guys a
about,
question. Are you guys here to beat Jeremy, or you guys here to solve y'all's beef?
Hold on, Dennis, right? This is the thing. He's going to try to make it seem like it's one thing, but it's not. This has been going on for a minute, Dennis. And I'm going to tell you where it started. It started after the 2016 Arnold when I got second place. He came over and gave me a backhanded compliment by saying, oh, good shit, Dre, you finally beat me.
Did you really?
Is it a fact or no?
Bro, you just all talk.
Is it you? But look, you see how he dances around everything.
You just all
it's
talk.
a yes or no question.
Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it.
So who's on?
I'll see you on Saturday, bro. I'm not here for all this.
So
I'm not here
okay,
for all this.
so
Hey, what happened to you meeting me on Wednesday?
So Dennis, back to what I said, Dennis.
What happened to you meeting me on Wednesday to fight? What happened to that? You was trying to talk to me. You talked to me all week, all last week, trying to meet me on Wednesday to fight. But that didn't happen. Nah, bro.
No, it's tomorrow. It's tomorrow.
Bro, I'm not on your level. I'm sorry.
It's tomorrow.
I'm not on your level.
Can you hold on?
I'm not.
Look at Jeremy laughing.
Listen,
Look at the champ laughing at the both of you right now.
This is not who I am. I'm not about this beef. I'm not about that. I'm very positive.
Dennis, you see how he tries to you see how he tries to say he doesn't have a problem.
This is why it's called.
But it's obvious he got a problem, Dennis.
Anybody got a problem?
Okay, hold on.
I ain't worried about your life. I'm not worried about your life. I'm sorry.
One more question. I told y'all it was good to switch it up.
He just mad. Like he obviously got a problem, Dennis.
Who had a 20 story page on their
Yo, I do that for fun all day. I do that for fun all day.
Okay, hang on a second. Hang on. Guys, hang on 1 second. Dexter. What the hell did they say?
Well, what they said was, Brandon said, you need to stop talking trash, and Andre said, you ain't gonna beat him.
Summed up nicely. Thank you.
Is this
See? You guys
personal
didn't have to
between
even go
you
through all
guys?
that.
Is this personal between you
Dennis,
guys?
I don't lie. Look, I don't lie. It is personal at this point.
All right,
He gonna try to act
finish.
like it's something it's not.
Let me finish the question. Is it more important to beat him, or for you to beat him, than to beat Jeremy? What are you guys here for? To be perfully exactly, I
I'm
want
here
to know.
to win the Mr. Olympia for the first time. I've chased this dream for 6 years, and I'm here to take it on Saturday. That's all I'm here for.
He's here to beat you. You here to beat who?
I'm truthful. I'm here to win the Olympia, but you better believe I'm here to beat him too.
All right, hang on a second now. Hang on.
You better believe that.
Listen, our resident Olympia champion, Phil Heath, actually has a solution. Phil.
Why don't y'all just put some money on it, man? This is Las Vegas, right? I mean, or whoever wins, the other dude got to wear the other guy's apparel around Vegas and post on their social media and shit.
I'm in.
Hey, with what I'm bringing, I'm not even worried about it.
I'm in.
The changing of the board shorts. Well, it doesn't get any better than that. All right.
But Phil, we're actually sponsored by the same company though.
Oh, God. Hey, be sure to visit that booth over the Olympia weekend, all right? All right, hey, enough of this trash talk over here. I got a guy that all he does is win Olympia titles. There's Flex Lewis. Welcome back, brother. The stage is yours, my friend. Of course, you, much like Phil, looking for bodybuilding history right on this stage. Now, you did come out earlier in the year and make the proclamation that this would be your last 212 shows. Is that correct, sir?
It is correct. And it's been a privilege, an honor to be on this stage as a 202 competitor, see the class grow into what is now the 212, and defend our title since the very beginning. So it's a mixture of emotions really to be up here, and I'm trying to live the moment. Like I said, this year is all about the fans, and I've tried to give as much as I can back all the way through the process, put in the good days, the bad days out, just to show everybody, as the fans who have never gone through the experience themselves of dieting, what all of us champions up on this stage really go through. So I hope you've enjoyed it, and again, I'm very excited now to continue what is now the Olympia experience here, and again, keep this press conference going, because man, we got guys on this table next to me that are all gunning for this first place title, and I'm here to defend it, of course. So I've done everything in my power. I've got my family in the crowd right there each and every year. They come and support me. They've been in my corner, my mother and father, from the very, very first show. They didn't even know what they were supporting. Now they do. Now they're Insta-famous too also. So it's, again, I got my daughter, and just to add to that, Sergio's not the only person that's been up on my stage. My wife and my daughter has too. So there's a very, very, again, big moment for us this year, and I'm trying to live each and every moment. From me to you guys, the fans, thank you for the wonderful experiences, all the stories, all the memories, and all the meetings I've had with each and every one of you throughout the world. And again, I'm looking forward to meeting everyone tonight at the Athletes Meet and Greet. Thank you.
Thank you, Flex. DJ, speaking of last appearances on the Olympia stage, you went out in style some years ago right here on this stage, celebrating 10 years on the Olympia stage. We have another gentleman right here who needs no introduction, but of course we all know it's Jose Raymond. Jose.
Hey, Bob.
Jose, I got to say, I'm a little sad that you said this is going to be your last Olympia. You're going to be hanging them up completely in the bodybuilding world very soon, but this is definitely your last Olympia stage. But man, you have had, for those who don't know, Jose is the most decorated amateur athlete in the world. Jose won more amateur shows than anybody else in the world. And then obviously made his way when we created the 202, which now obviously is your 212 division, and found a home right here. So it's a little bittersweet for me that this is going to be the last time we're going to be seeing you on stage, buddy.
Yeah, me too. Thanks, Bob. As you know, I won my first USAs with you in 2000, 18 years ago. It's pretty crazy. But, you know, if I don't get a chance to do it, I want to do it now. And thank everybody. Thank the fans. Thank Big Jim and the Mannion family for not only putting together this league and giving me a platform for the last 26 years, but doing it with class and style. I say class because a lot of what we've been seeing here today, a lot of what we've been seeing the last few months has been a real lack of class and how people are handling themselves via social media and calling each other out. And you know, it's entertaining for the press conference to see people going back and forth. But, you know, I learned from the best. You know, as I said 26 years ago when I started this, and I see how Jim handles himself, that's how I like to handle myself. That's how I want to represent myself within the IFBB. So I will not be calling out people. I will not be talking in that manner. I'll just show up and do my best, do my job with class.
No better way to go out, Jose, and certainly I wouldn't expect anything less from you, my friend. Best of luck here in your last Olympia.
Thank you.
You know, I'm right here next to David Henry, and you know, as Jose's talking, yeah, he did come up in a different era as you did. But you and Cedric seem to have a similar mentality, obviously, as both career military guys. You guys definitely seem to look at things a little bit different than most of the guys, as obviously you've seen, you know, your fair share in representing the U.S., obviously, in the armed forces. Is it a different mentality, David?
I mean, I'm along the similar lines of Cedric with stuff. We're all fighting different battles and stuff like that. It's a little bittersweet, sorry, to see my buddy roll. This is our 9th Olympia together. This is 13 for me. One I missed just due to deployment and stuff. So yeah, the military did have a lot to do with my mentality, the status, and stuff that I've achieved on the stage. But just like Jose had alluded to, what we've been seeing lately is just an absolute lack of class. To me, you know, showing your ass on the internet is really not helping you out. For those of us that come in and do what we need to do, showing up in the condition we need to show up in, battle day after day, whether it's personal or on the stage, this is what we came to do. Everybody on this stage has won something to earn the right, the title to be up here on this stage. If, like they said previous too, if you're up here training for second, why are you here? You know what I mean? And I've had the honor of standing next to Flex Lewis in that runner-up position for numerous years, man, and it's pissing me off. I've got one, you know, and he's got the other. So on the stage, there's only 2 of us that hold that 212/202 title. And, you know, I'm bringing what I need to bring. A lot of this stuff has been circulating around about the whole age issue. Can you get better with age? Well, we've got a certain individual down front who's showing right now that he can smoke most of these dudes at any point in time. Matter of fact, the year he won was the year I won, 2008. So there's a testament right there. I think both of us actually have some of the longest running continuous years competing in the IFBB. So I'm not going anywhere. A lot of the talk was also, it was Jose's last year, and this was mine as well. I don't know who put that out there, but for those in attendance, I ain't going anywhere. I'm gonna be here for the next, I don't know. My body's fine, my body's healthy, my mentality is on point. You know, there's a lot of things that I've been doing to improve my system and my setup, and you guys will see that. I'm always in conditioning points on that, so we'll rock and roll, and we'll shut the haters down and do what we got to do.
Thank you, David Henry.
Yeah, I would like to go speak to the man physique champion for a second, Jeremy. Coming off a pec tear, like you said, it was torn completely off the bone.
And off the tendon.
And that was in 2018, correct?
It happened October last year after Olympia.
Okay, but you had surgery this year.
I did surgery December 27th of 2017.
Okay. So your mindset, where's your mind right now, knowing you came off a severe injury? You had to probably take off the gym. You've been out of the gym for how long, 3 months?
I was out of the gym for 4.5 months, 5 months almost.
4.5 months. Now, you coming here to defend your title. Is it possible, after a severe injury, to come back and beat these guys right here?
Oh, I'm my best ever. My best ever right now. I did it in 10.5 weeks. At my best ever right now. I worked hard for it. And, you know, this year was a lot about just personal growth and really trying to figure out who I am and, you know, what all this meant all these years. And a lot of you guys know I started competing at 17 years old. I'm going to be 28 next month. Been competing for over 10 years. And I've grown up a lot in this industry. And, you know, this is going to be my final Olympia in the men's physique division and maybe my final Olympia altogether. I wasn't supposed to compete this year. All the doctors, peers, they didn't think it was going to be possible. The level of my tear was one of the worst that could have happened to your chest. I was actually I had a charity event after Olympia last year, and I hit the bench press, and I ripped it right off the bone, right off the tendon, and I got operated on in December, and the doctors basically told me my career was over. And I wasn't done yet. Mentally, after last year's Olympia, you know, I knew I was coming back, and that was the whole goal and idea. So when the injury happened, you know, it was heartbreaking to hear that news. And still, when they told me I wasn't going to be able to compete this year, I didn't believe them. You know, I still felt, I mean, you guys saw the video, you know, right after I got out of the surgery, you know, I was on the hospital bed saying, I feel great, still got the best legs in men's physique, and I'm ready to come back for number 5. You know, but the fact is, you know, when I started my therapy, the doctor told me, he's like, there's no possible way you're going to be able to make it in 4.5, 5 months. You're not going to be able to work your chest out for a year. You know, it was to have something you worked so hard for so long and to have an end point that you visualized taken away from you, you know, it was gut-wrenching. Like, I remember leaving the doctor's office calling my dad. and just telling him, like, this isn't how it's supposed to end. And, you know, I had to dig deep, real deep. You know, there's times where, you know, I didn't know if it was going to happen. You know, I talking with my coach, Hani, and, you know, we're at a point, you know, in March and April where we didn't know if I was going to be able to compete or not. And I started getting back in the gym around May, started training, putting some size on, and he saw a post I put up, and he called me and goes, is that recent? I was like, yeah. He's like, looks like you're growing. So I started putting some size back on, and, you know, sure enough, you know, something switched in me, and I felt that it was something that was going to be doable. And once I started to believe that, that's when the action started to happen. And once I get started in doing something, I don't stop until I finish it. And it was interesting because this year, knowing that it's going to be my last title defense, I felt that I had a lot to prove to myself and to the people around me. You know, I had to learn a lot growing up in this industry. You know, going from a 22-year-old IFB pro to a 23-year-old Mr. Olympia physique champion, it's a very young age for anybody to take on that responsibility. And I had to learn the hard way. You know, I was very outspoken, didn't always say the right things, and I didn't always think about the people around me. And I rubbed a lot of people the wrong way a lot of years. And it took a lot of self-reflection and understanding and growth to see these things. And this being my last Olympia, I wanted to make sure I went out the right way and earned the respect from everybody that I feel I deserve. Not deserve, but the respect that I've always wanted. Because I mean well in everything that I'm doing. I'm trying to do things the right way and leave an impact in this industry, more so than just being a body on the stage, but being able to show that we have such tremendous potential as athletes now in this day and age of bodybuilding with the social media platforms that we have, that we're able to impact other people from all over the world and influence and motivate and inspire. And that's something that we all need to focus on as athletes, understand that we have a responsibility, that we're up here on this stage because we are the elite of the elite in our division, our sport in the world. And there are thousands, tens of thousands, maybe hundreds of thousands of competitors worldwide that dream to be where we're at. And we have to value the position that we're in and hold it to the highest standard because we are the ones that they're looking at. We are the ones that are aspiring to be like. And being the champ for the last 4 years, going on 5, I want to be able to walk away knowing that my titles meant something and that they serve some sort of purpose to somebody. So I don't know if many of you guys know this, but win or lose this year, I'll be donating $20,000 back to the Philippines, to the street children, to help feed the children in the Philippines. I've been doing a lot of work out there this past year. We've raised over $40,000 already, and I'll be going back over to the Philippines in about a week and a half. I'll be hosting a fundraiser in November to hopefully raise over $100,000 to feed the street children in the Philippines. So my purpose isn't just to be a bodybuilder, but is to create a purpose and a value in this world. And I want these athletes to understand that you got to be multidimensional. You know, what we do is great for ourselves, but there's much more to that. You know, how can we impact others through our passion, our love? So that's what this is about this year. I thank you guys more than anything. This sport's been everything to me. And
thank you, Jeremy. Well said.
We're glad you're here. You're glad you made it safe, and we wish you all the best. Now, just one more question. You say you're not going to defend your title if you win it again this year. What are you going to do? Are you going to go up? You're going to go into classic physique? Or?
I don't have any plans right now. Like I said, I mean, I have established a couple different businesses, you know, through the years of competing, and, you know, they've done very well over the last 18 months, and we're expanding internationally now, and I have a lot of international touring I'm going to be doing in 2019 with EVG Nutrition and in my clothing line, Hair X Hero. And, you know, ultimately we're starting this thing called the Hero Project, where we're trying to go out and do positive things across the world and do things that actually make a difference and matter. And if I'm able to utilize my platform in the fitness industry to do so, I'm going to do it.
Well, thank you. You heard it here first.
All right, I'm here with last year's runner-up, Ahmad Ashkanani, the pride of Kuwait, of course. Ahmad, Flex Lewis obviously is going to call it a day, and he's looking for number 7, but you were real close last year. I know you were right on Flex's tail, right from that prejudging, right up until the very last pose down. So how's he looking this year?
First, thanks to Olympia to bring all of us here. and so excited to compete with a big name on 212 this weekend. This is my third time. I'm so happy to be here, and I wish to be like my father, Dexter, to compete like 20, 21, 22 years in Mr. Olympia. You know, all of you guys, we know Flex is the best. 212.
Hey, we can be boys, but ain't your daddy. I'm just saying.
Yeah, sorry, Dex.
Call old man.
Okay, and we are miss him next year if he leave us, and we wish him good luck with the big boys. And also we miss Jose Raymond also, and wish him a great life. In the beginning, we ask us who's the Mr. Olympia. In my opinion, Mr. Olympia who stand on this stage. So all of you guys are Mr. Olympia. All of you guys are heroes. All of you guys are champions. So we should show the people what we did in this year, and we all did our best. And we know the stage, he gave only one person the first place. So guys, let us enjoy this moment and hold your horses. Guys, don't shouting, because we are like one family, the IFBB Pro family. You should be nice to, and give all the people here what the IFBB pros do and what the great community we are. That's it.
All right, thank you, Ahmed. I'm standing here next to the classic Physique champion, Breon Ansley. Breon, you you won the Olympia last year, you won the Arnold Classic this year. There's a lot of hype going into the main classic Physique with you as a champion, and of course, two potential guys saying that they probably can dethrone you, which is one of them is Chris Bumstead, and the other one, George Peterson. What does the champ say?
Oh, the champ, first of all, I want to just back up a little bit and just tell you guys how much I appreciate you guys, and I just want you guys to know how important I know that you as fans and as supporters are to me, and I hope all of us really truly understand and know that and cherish that. We are blessed to know in, and we need to know that every minute, every moment of our lives. You know, this is such a blessing to be up here. So I'll start with that. Then, well, I think, you know, we're all great competitors, most definitely. Not taking anything away from those guys, but like a lot of the guys said up here, Phil Heath is the champ for a reason. Okay, and I truly believe I'm the champ for a reason. I've earned the right to be called the champ. I work my tail off to have a body that showcases it, and I will bring my best yet tomorrow. Very excited for you guys to see it.
All right, thank you. All right, remember one of the new kids on the block, Derek Lunsford, hit the stage big and bold last year, but you're a veteran now this year, my friend, so welcome back to the Olympia stage.
Well, thank you for having me, first of all. I want to thank Robin Chang, Jim Manion for putting on the Olympia competition and press conference and all the Olympia has. Last year, I sat out watching the press conference, wishing I was up here. Now I'm thankful that I'm up here this year. So we've mentioned that this year is a lot of storylines, and I don't know a more real storyline than how your idols become your rivals than what I've done with these guys. I've looked up to Flex, Ahmad, Jose, David since literally before I ever thought I would be a competitor in bodybuilding. I watched their videos. I really looked up to these guys from day one, and now I'm competing next to them. And it's just the most surreal thing. And last year I said, when I watched Flex, win the title and I placed 5th, I said, I'm going to remember this moment, and I haven't forgot a single day. I've, raised my standard every single day to, come for that title. Like, I have no question in my mind that I'm going to be contending for that title come Friday, Saturday night.
All right, thank you, Derek. All right, Arash Rabar, back at the Olympia, of course. Arash, I just got to tell you, Chris Bumstead's been down there talking smack about you the entire press conference.
Has he now?
Nah, he does. He's from Canada, folks. Believe me, he ain't got no. Way too nice. Way too nice. Arash, you did good last year, but certainly not what you were looking for. You said, I know exactly where I screwed up, and I'm going to correct this for next year, and I'm going to come back, and you're going to see the best Arash that you've seen on this stage. Did you do that this year, my friend?
Absolutely. I stuck to the plan. I was number 2 in the world after Danny in 2016, and I fell back a few slots in 17 to 4th, and it was tough. It wasn't easy. It was very devastating, but it just made me stronger, made me more hungry. Came back, did the Arnold, placed second to Breon, and that was a very close show. We pushed each other very hard. And I think I proved to myself and the fans what I can bring, and I still believe that wasn't my absolute best. I worked very, very hard. I've evolved as an athlete. Anyone that follows my career, I've continued to get better season after season, but I've also grown mentally. And my mental game gets stronger every single prep, every year, every season. And I believe you will see my best tomorrow.
Excellent, Arash. Speaking of Chris Bumstead, runner-up, a lot of people had you in the winner's circle, my friend. You've gotten a lot of groundswell, a lot of support this past year. A lot of people saying that you have the exact physique that they're looking for in this fairly new division of Classic. And I see you've got the Classic mustache now, Chris. Excellent. Looking very 1930s. I like it.
The ladies like it, so. Ladies seem to like the stash, so it had to stay on for a little bit longer.
Glad to see the priorities in order. Excellent.
Yeah.
How you feeling this year, champ? What do you say? Can you take the title?
Hell yeah. I mean, I've had a few hiccups this prep, but a few big hiccups, but I ain't here for no pity party. I'm not going to talk no drama that I've had or anything like that. I'm, coming here for first place, and I'm the young gun up here, but it's classic physique, but it doesn't mean it's got to be old man classic physique. There's a lot of old guys up here on stage, and I think that kind of puts me at an advantage. I'm coming in. I was close last year. I'm young. I got a lot of time to improve. My body's changing quick, so I think I got what it takes this year to move up one spot and take down Breon.
Excellent, Chris. Can't wait to see it.
I have one sitting here who's saying he's going to beat Chris, Arash, and Breon's. The Bull. George Peterson.
That's right. I definitely plan to step on that stage tomorrow and take what's rightfully mine. We have a lot of great competitors up here, but what do you get when you have great going up against amazing? And that's what you're going to get. I plan to show something very amazing on that stage, something the likes of probably never seen before. I mean, when it comes to, with Mr. Olympia, who's crowned Mr. Olympia, what do they all have in common? They all have great backs, right? Now we know our reigning champion has a great back. How's that going to look when it goes up against a phenomenal back?
Now, George, you say we're going to see something like the likes that we've never, like you have like 4 arms? Like, what's going on up here? What do you mean we've never seen before? What do you got going there, buddy?
You'll just have to see tomorrow, Look.
It's a quadruple bicep, Steve. Make sure to put that in the call-outs.
Let me tell you something. There's no dream that's too big. There's no vision that's out of your reach. You see yourself achieving something, and you'll achieve it. And that's the goal that both me and my coach, Justin Miller, out there, by the way, that's the goal that we set, to bring Amazing to the stage. More so than setting a priority to win, because we feel like if we achieve the goal of bringing Amazing to the stage, everything else will fall into place. Nobody had me on their radar last year. Nobody had me in their top 5 And then, boom, what did I do? I had to kick the door down and place that top 3. And I'm extremely happy about that, and I plan to build on that. We keep moving forward. We don't step backwards.
Breon, better back than you. He said a great back next to an amazing back. Is he going to beat you in the back double biceps?
I have to respectfully say no. He has a great back, but mine is great as well. And mine is improved. And I think that, what's funny is that you better know that the champ is not going to stay the same the next year. He better improve. And that's what I've done. So aside from having a great back, I think, a winning champion back, that back has improved as well. So there we have it for the back.
We'll have another Jeremy right here. Also in the man physique, Jeremy Potwin, ladies and gentlemen. You heard everybody talking. You heard these two guys here is on a different level right now. Jeremy, you sitting right here. Basically, to me, he's a Jeremy Bondia lookalike. I mean, you both look like twin brothers.
Like bookends.
Yeah. If I was you, I'd go on double dates and I'd be, all kind of stuff.
Yeah,
Anyways,
we know what you'd be doing, D. Don't worry about that.
Jeremy, where do you fit in this week?
What do I think of what?
Where do you fit in all these guys? Everybody wants to beat Jeremy. What is Jeremy going to do? Who is you?
Well, like I said, just like everybody else, I don't train for second place. I train to win. Jeremy looks phenomenal. Came back from a crazy pec tear. He'll be his best. I'll be my best. Everybody should be their best. But I know I intend to stand out. That's something I've always had on my side is the proportions I bring. If I peak just right, I think in 2016 I did a good job of coming close. 2017 I was way off. But this year, this will be my best by far, and I think I'll be right up there pushing Jeremy. So.
Well, I'm sure the champ appreciates being pushed, especially in his last Olympia. Bob.
All right, as usual, we're going to hit the champ for the last word of the day, because after this, it's all business. All the talk is done, Phil. All the smack talk, all the stuff on social media, everybody exclaim they're going to bring their best package. They're going to do this. They're going to do that. What are you going to do?
Win. Simple as that. I do want to say it is an honor and a privilege to be amongst you people. I've been here competing at the Mr Olympia for now 10 years, since 2008. I've been pro since 05. And actually, my first Olympia was after I turned pro, winning the NPC USAs in Las Vegas. And was sitting right up there, looking down, watching Ronnie Coleman go for his 8th Mr. Olympia title. Now, I was privileged enough to see that happen and actually become friends with him, being able to see his journey. And now it's time for me to do the same. And I'm just elated with joy to know that I've been able to go through a lot of battles, a lot of rivalries, and it wasn't easy. Definitely wasn't. So I've been able to learn a whole lot throughout this entire experience to be able to see our sport grow from having, a press conference inside the Orleans Arena instead of a little ballroom like we used to. We've improved a lot, so I have to give props to the organizers with Robin Chang and all the guys over at AMI, Weider. I've seen a lot of competitors come and go. We have some amazing champions, some amazing physiques on this stage that are actually calling it quits. And it's not a shame. But what I'm trying to tell you guys is that it's something that we should appreciate. We should appreciate the athletes while we have them here. So when you see them on the stage, whether you're really rooting for them or not, show them love. Because they've been busting their ass their entire life to be on this very stage in front of you, in front of a bunch of strangers that have some become fans to even friends. And I, for one, am just very excited to be in this opportunity, going for number 8. I know everybody wants to come after me and this and that, and that's expected. When you're the champion, you have to expect adversity. If you go around in life expecting the world owing you something or even owing you respect, you're going to fail. You have to be able to roll with those punches, and like I've said before, curveballs can be hit. And all in all, it's all about the journey and what you've learned through those ups and downs and how you can do it with a smile on your face and say, I got more. Give me more. So as I walk out here and I get ready, I just want you guys to know that I truly appreciate all the ongoing support and the love, and for the people that have been watching online, thank you. Not just for me, but for I think I can speak very well for all these other athletes. We thank you for being here. Thank you for your ongoing love and support. And we'll see you guys tomorrow night. And, of course, I'm going for history, and, that's been my mindset ever since tying Arnold Schwarzenegger with 7. I knew my job would not be completed until I reached that highest mountaintop, and I know it's very challenging. And these guys are going to bring it. But we know what I can bring. So I can't wait. I hope everybody gets here early. Do not get here late, because I'm going to be on time.